Animals trying to survive in the wild never know what they will be up against during their travels. So every day is a new challenge when they go looking for food. If you want to see how some of these encounters unravel, this is it, so let's get started. Number 15, hyena and brown hyena vs. leopard. This leopard had made a kill and was robbed by a spotted hyena, which is not unusual, but the big cat wasn't too keen on letting go of his meal, so the female leopard came back at the hyena and tried her best, which worked to a point, as the sneaky cameo at the end shows. This incredibly rare sighting of a leopard and her cub playing was interrupted by a curious hyena. What the hyena didn't take into consideration is that a mother's instinct is insurmountable, and she will stop at nothing to protect her own. This interaction is unique and extremely rare to see, and what was even more fascinating was how the cub spotted the hyena and ran off into the distance. Once the mother chased the hyena off, she went to find her cub immediately. The cub was okay but frightened, clinging to the trunk of a 5-meter tree 50 meters back from where the incident took place. I'm quite sure the brown hyena in this video goes to the same hairdresser as Rod Stewart. Brown hyenas are usually very timid animals, so I never thought they could show any kind of aggression towards leopards. Being a smaller female leopard, she is completely outweighed by the much bigger brown hyena in this video, and if we're being honest, just that morning hairdo is enough to scare the living daylights out of the feline. As the hyena approached, it indicated its intentions by raising its hair. Oh, so that's what it was. It makes sense because it was enough to force the leopard up a tree. This female leopard and her cub were feeding on the remains of an impala kill when a spotted hyena arrived on the scene, chasing both leopards into a tree and stealing a portion of the meat. Number 14, rabbit versus snake. When this bunny pounces on this snake and gives it a lesson or two after the snake tries to eat some of its young, it isn't fooling around. The snake attempts to flee, but the rabbit follows him. The rabbit performed a few strong kick combos and a backward flip to spice things up. After doing a few dance steps to avoid getting bitten by the snake, it is the rabbit who confronts the writhing reptile, and the snake grows upset and retreats, but the rabbit chases it. What do you call a rowdy bunny? The rabbit is not afraid of the snake and chases it until the reptile can no longer take it and slithers up a tree to escape the crazed bunny. Many snakes eat bunnies for breakfast, but not this bunny. Number 13, dog versus monitor lizard. This black dog isn't afraid of this lizard for 1 second as it jumps on its back and bites it as hard as it can before letting it go again. The lizard is bleeding and I'm not sure it's going to be able to escape. At first, the dog in this video seems timid and shy when it encounters a big monitor lizard, but it becomes acquainted quite fast with the reptile and goes for the jugular. This monitor lizard is being mauled by a tough dog, while a few other smaller dogs cheer their friend on. The lizard is no match for the dog, as the canine practically cuts the reptile in two. Number 12, elephant versus dog. An angry bull elephant seems so angry and annoyed with this dog, it just wanted to grab it. The dog was running around, and it seemed to annoy the elephant. All this happened under the watchful eyes of safari enthusiasts. This cute elephant calf chases a dog around, but the dog is so much faster than the elephant, he doesn't have anything to worry about. It's as if the adult elephants know the youngster is playing, so they don't intervene. When the elephant has had enough, he goes back to join his family. When a dog spots two massive elephants coming his way, he growls and tries to intimidate them, but the elephants laugh and continue to march forward. The dog thinks it over and realizes how crazy he is, just thinking of confronting these massive beasts, and retreats. It almost looks like this tiny dog is running the show on this road, as a massive elephant eventually gives in to the dog's tantrums and returns into the forest. Two dogs come running out of the bushes, terrified, and it's because a cute elephant calf is right behind, chasing them. Nothing more unravels because the dogs are much faster and run far away from the young animal. Number 11, cat versus deer. Domestic cats are fantastic hunters, but some of these cats, just like the one in this video, are overly ambitious. I mean, how in God's name does this cat think he could take down such a large deer? But get this, the cat actually flanks the deer and scares it away, and when the deer runs, the cat chases it, stalking it constantly. This cat must think this is a mouse, And I think he is just fascinated by how big his prey is and can't seem to understand how the mice outside are so much bigger than the ones inside. When the deer finally charges the feline, the scaredy cat runs for his life and doesn't return. The poor cat in this video was relaxing when a deer ran to it, looked at it for a few seconds before stomping on it with its legs as if it was possessed by a demon. The cat looked dead after this, but it wasn't because it tried running away, but the deer struck one more time, and this time, the strike was fatal. It's the first time I have seen a deer behave this way. I guess they are not to be taken lightly. A white cat spots a deer in the backyard, but when the cat goes for the kill, the deer challenges the feline and scares it away, and the cat figures out that it's much safer to look for rodents. Number 10, bull vs. dog. In our thumbnail, we could see a dog latching onto a bull's mouth, and believe it or not, some crazy dogs attack bulls without thinking twice in the same manner, so this pic is not doctored. These little dogs are relentless when they try and harass a bull by biting its legs. The bull sends the dogs flying into the air as if they were enjoying a ride at an amusement park. I must say this is hilarious. I can't believe how high the bull is throwing these dogs in the air, and they just keep coming back for more. They must be enjoying it. Bulls usually mind their own business unless they're provoked, and the dogs in this video are doing a great job of this, but they better be careful because this bull could hurt them, probably even kill them if he hits his mark. Another dog decides to harass a bull and even bites the bull's tail until the massive animal kicks the dog in the noggin, sending a clear message he doesn't want to be bothered. Number 9, coyote vs. raccoon. When a raccoon climbs a fence to get away from a hungry and aggressive coyote, you can see the coyote jump up to try to grab the raccoon. The coyote almost succeeds, but the raccoon fights back until the coyote makes one final attempt and manages to grab the raccoon by the neck. That was quite an acrobatic display of skills and force by the coyote. When a coyote attempts to snare a young raccoon, the raccoon's mother, along with a friend, do not hesitate to pursue and repel the coyote. She saves the little guy from the coyote because it appears to have escaped. In the middle of the night, these coyotes encircle a raccoon. The raccoon tries to position himself so that he has no enemies behind him before confronting the coyotes, which do nothing. The raccoon was prepared for the worst, and the coyotes ignored him and simply left. Sometimes, when you expect the worst, it never comes, which is a good thing, especially for this raccoon. Number 8, chimpanzee vs. baboon. This chimp has discovered several juvenile baboons with whom to play. This level of closeness, complete with teasing and laughter, is quite rare in the wild between such dissimilar creatures. The chimp's mother isn't overprotective, but she does keep an eye on her child in case he gets into mischief, which he appears to be determined to do. He's chosen a huge monkey that refuses to participate in the game. That is sufficient for the mother. She calls her oldest, who is tormenting the giant baboon, after picking up her youngest. The mother scares the baboon away with a well-aimed rock. The angry baboon reappears a few minutes later and assaults a young mother. The baboon undoubtedly detects this female lacks the confidence of the other mother and continues to torment her. She finally succeeds in chasing the monkey away. In this area, baboons outnumber chimps by a factor of 4. The two species coexist peacefully for the most part, but the baboon is a competitor for food, so conflict can arise. Even a young chimp can intimidate a full-grown baboon because he has the intelligence to use a weapon. The bluff works, but the attacks can be very real at times. The group of chimps has captured and killed a young baboon. They'll gorge themselves on its remains. Chimps are not the gentle vegetarians that scientists thought they were, but they are a formidable predator, sometimes cooperating to hunt and stalk their prey, just like humans. Chimps will attack and eat monkeys if they must. There are many possible reasons for this, which include hunger, territorial disputes, and dominance. In this video, a chimp has killed a small monkey and eats it with a friend. Number 7, buffalo and wildebeest vs. lion. Lions are often thought to be the kings of the bush, but the reality is far from the truth. This video shows the real challenges lions face in the build-up to a successful hunt when a crazy Cape buffalo turns the tables on the felines and chases them instead. They still are successful 1 out of 10 hunts, and the hunt in this video is also botched and fails. Another Cape buffalo goes to extreme lengths to protect her calf, and the lions find out soon enough when this massive animal goes head-to-head with the big cats and teaches them not to mess with her offspring. When a lone lioness targets a herd of wildebeest and manages to isolate one of the animals, the wildebeest puts on its battle gear and goes to war, challenging the rules of the game as it becomes the hunter. Number 6. Deer attacks dog. A newborn fawn creates a dangerous situation when mom gets protective. The entire incident begins like a cute encounter at first, but turns into a nightmare very quickly for a dog and a cat. At first, the deer doesn't seem to mind when the cat gets close to her fawn, but when she spots the dog a good 40 feet away, she runs to him and goes ballistic, stomping on the poor defenseless dog with reckless abandon. When the cat approaches the deer at the end of the video, it smells the feline and remains alert, but as soon as the kitty cat lightly taps the deer's snout, it threatens to attack it, but the cat runs away quickly, and the action stops there. I really feel sorry for the poor dog because he was nowhere near the initial encounter and was even lying down, relaxing, not paying attention to anything that was going on. What a crazy encounter between this deer and the dog of the man recording this video. At first, the man thought the deer was just trying to get an easy meal, but after watching the video a bunch of times, he spotted the fawn at the base of the tree, which perfectly explains its aggressive nature towards the dog. It was defending the fawn at all costs. This young dog taunts a deer that has trespassed into his neighborhood, but as we saw in the 2 previous videos, the dog better be careful and keep his distance if he doesn't want to end up with a black eye. Number 5. Wolf vs. Bison. One of the adult males, named Dark Black, was picked up by a bison cow's horn while the Lamar Canyon pack of 5 wolves attempted to hunt a bison calf. The wolf was then somersaulted, his legs and tail well above the bison's head, and tossed to the ground, skidding a few feet before springing up and continuing the hunt. If you pay attention after Dark Black is thrown to the ground, you'll observe the second cow charging him. The wolf would have been gored or trampled to death if he hadn't climbed to his feet right away. Dark Black, on the other hand, escaped this terrifying ordeal with no visible injuries, though he did appear stiff and painful for a few days thereafter. People who had been watching wolves for 2 decades claimed that the wolf-bison encounter was the most remarkable event they had ever seen, especially when the wolf has lived. Although the hunt for the bison calf failed, the pack did find an elk carcass the next morning. In this video, a lone wolf is seen trying to take down an adult bison. The wolf is covered in blood, and it's most probably the bison's because the wolf has been attacking the bison's hind legs to try and weaken it, but nevertheless, the bison is still standing and charging the wolf hard.